Michael Wells, a writer at Madame Noir, recently wrote an article that posed the question, you guys. If you're married to a black woman, does that mean that you get to make stereotypical black jokes?
Okay, this is interesting.
All right. Well, the article was written in response to a recent incident surrounding Atlanta Hawks general manager Wes Wilcox, who apologized after making a racially insensitive joke at a season ticket holder event. Wilcox said, quote, "I know you guys may be angry with me, but I'm used to it because I have a black wife and 3 mixed kids, so I'm used to people being angry and argumentative."
Ooh.
Wow.
Shame on him.
Lonnie,
That's terrible.
as a comedian, do you think that there's anything funny about what he said?
This is the thing about jokes, okay? You need to leave the jokes to the comedians because the adjectives that he's using is really messed up. If you're going to do a self-deprecating joke, which is what he was trying to do, he should have talked about himself.
Yeah, that's how that works.
Instead of incorporate his wife and his family. If your wife is angry, it's not because she's black, it's because you made a stupid joke. That's why she's angry. Okay?
I would be offended if he called me just angry. What he said just wasn't cool.
It's no way. And then the mixed kids, I think he's so proud of his family, but he was trying to make a point, but it's just a stupid point.
It wasn't,
funny.
It wasn't funny, and it wasn't a nice point.
No, that's the thing.
But sometimes men act like that. I mean, first of all, I'm sorry, guys. I mean, what do you think, Mel? I'm sorry. What do you think?
I just think any jokes about colour, period, should not be happening.
You're right.
That's my opinion. I don't like it.
See, okay, so being married to a Caucasian man, for me, in my marriage, I think it's interesting and humorous when Freddie picks up on things that my family, I'm not talking about all Asian families out there, but he's like, why do we have to bargain every single thing that we buy? And I'm like, that's a my family thing. We just always want to find a better deal. But if he were to go out there and say, Joe, that's just Asian people always need to find a deal, that's going to offend somebody out there because you can't speak for everybody else out there because the only one you know is me. So you got to be careful when you generalize. You know?
Generalize.
Yeah, and he said it publicly. The thing about that joke, too, is that it perpetuates a stereotype that is untrue.
Exactly.
And it's like you got the angry black woman, now you got the half black kids, and they angry at you, and you just, it's just a
like
mess.
black people are carrying an angry gene. Like, that's just dumb.
It's like, it's just totally not true. So that's the reason, we are very, very sensitive, and I think these are really good times to be sensitive because there are a lot of things that's happening in the country. So it's really good that we check when this type of thing happens and that people say, I'm offended by that, and I want you to know why I'm offended, and let's do something about it so that everybody understands.
And maybe he'll learn and move on from the situation,
You guys may think this is wrong.
What?
Okay, you are a black woman married to a white man.
Yes.
Tell me if I'm wrong. Like, is it Mayor Bellagio?
De Blasio.
Oh, wow. Let me get that right. Bellagio is a hotel in Vegas. Mayor de Blasio in New York, he is married to a black woman. He walked into a conference, I think a press conference, and happened to say that to please excuse him for being late, he was on CP time.
Color people time.
Correct. So people were offended by that.
Because color people time is supposed to be the stereotype 15
Maybe
minutes
I'm
late.
just too English. We don't do jokes like that in England. We really don't. Like, colour jokes are just not acceptable.
Well, I applaud England for that.
I really think it's a British thing.
Yeah. With that being said, a lot of people obviously were offended by this. And tell me if I'm wrong, but like, I low-key blame his wife.
Why?
Well, as the woman, you should be like, you should not be saying that. Like, I'm not trying to be funny, but like, even, Israel was raised in a white family, but he was raised in a Latino community. So obviously now he's married to a Latina woman. I would educate him and be like, don't say that. Like, that's not something you say. That's not funny.
Yeah, because
like, is there anything you've had to tell Adam, like, don't do that, don't say that?
Adam is just not that type of person. He just doesn't think, I think he'll agree with you, Mel, or he'll just say, leave it to the comedians. He doesn't even try to make racially driven jokes, because my honey is sometimes just not funny. So,
so it's not the race thing.
all the time.
No. So I I think he's just very careful, just in general, you know?
But that's what you're supposed to be. And it doesn't matter whether you're married to somebody or not. I don't think it was the wife's fault because you don't know if the wife actually has probably told him. No. I think that he was trying to be funny. Again, this is me not thinking. And he just said, I'm going to make it funny.
Yes,
and
but,
it's not.
Yeah, but what I see about what Adrian is saying is that
cool.
when you're in a blended marriage or a blended relationship, friends, anything,
some people
coworkers,
really don't know.
You have the gift to bring up and educate to each other things that you didn't know growing up in your culture.
Yeah.
I had to check one of Freddie's friends because he called me Oriental, and I had to explain to him that I'm not a rug.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
That's being funny. Wait, this is
I was checked, you guys. Actually,
for those that don't know, I think it's important that
I'm just saying, and that was no shade, you guys. Like, honestly,
Eugenie, a lot of people don't know.
Let her explain.
Some people don't know that when there are certain terminology that you use to describe certain objects and things, like the word Oriental, that describes something manufactured. That describes
people are not.
A type of thing, where it's made and the culture behind it, not a person. So you can't say someone is Oriental because
what
it's
should you say?
You should say they're Asian, or
Exactly.
you should say they're Vietnamese, or just say I'm Jeannie.
I have
You're
to tell
a woman. It doesn't have to be.
Yeah.
I actually was checked. I was checked by my white husband, to be honest with you guys.
What'd he say?
What did you say?
I made a sandwich. You
put
guys know where I'm
mayonnaise on
going.
it?
You know where I'm
No,
going.
I
Go ahead.
They know where I'm going. So I made a sandwich, and I had some mayonnaise, and I said, Adam, do you want a lot of mayo on your sandwich? Because when I
say mayo.
I know, but it's kind of like a racial thing that white people love mayonnaise.
They do.
And black people love, fried chicken.
We like
but I
hot
didn't
sauce.
mean it. I didn't mean it in a derogative way.
did he
I was
say?
trying to help
I had no
him.
idea.
He said, Tamara, I don't like mayo just because I'm white. I actually hate mayo. So I was... Thank you, Adam, for teaching me
wow.
that not all white people like mayonnaise.
We're talking about a mayor. We're talking about a mayor of New York, and the other man was the GM of an NBA team. So they're professionals. They should know better about jokes.
And we should help wherever someone doesn't
and
know.
be helpful. If you are a wife, if you are a friend, if you notice that someone's calling people
but if they don't
Oriental.
listen, then they're going to have to find out publicly like they doing now.
Well,
so that's what happens.
This was a PSA.
Yeah.
Glad we could help you.